And we are set to begin finally with the smoke from that wonderful pregame ceremony, including the stirring rendition of the national anthem by one Teddy Pendergrass.
I thought that was outstanding. I haven't seen Teddy sing in a long time. My heart started going. I saw him coming out to do that.
And the revolution is underway, and for the first time this season, we're running. And so is Iverson, finding Weatherspoon. Hit the front of the rim with the dunk attempt, and it's Baker on the run for the Bucks.
Take a look at Vin Baker, Mark. Looks like he's lost a little weight from last year. Remember last year he came in, he wanted to be a little bigger, a little heavier. Well, I think this year it looks like he lost about 15 pounds or so as you take a look at Sherman Douglas getting into the paint on the 76ers.
That's vintage Sherman Douglas, now in his 8th year out of Syracuse. Speaking of Syracuse, Coleman for Iverson, has it blocked underneath. Iverson hits the deck, nothing called. In the meantime, the Sixers will retain possession, and you'll see a lot of those forays from Allen Iverson going headlong to the hoop.
Take a look at Iverson going baseline. Good help coming over by the Milwaukee Bucks to get their first block of the season.
6 to shoot. Clarence Weatherspoon. And the rebound to Douglas, who moments ago got the first ever basket here at the Core State Center.
The one thing you have to guard against initially is that you're not too pumped up. You know, with the 76ers in their new building and their first game of the season and the introductions the way they want, they just have to settle down now and get into the flow.
I think he's pumped, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Iverson sniffing for the steal. Douglas setting up Baker. Coleman with the rebound. The leading rebounder for the Sixers in the preseason. Whistles. Mike Mathis, the trailing official, says hold everything. And we have a call coming up.
Reset the clock.
They will reset the shot clock, the 24-second clock, to 22 seconds now. Sixers ball out on the side.
Opening moments, Sixers looking for their first points. Coleman. Good lob from Stackhouse, met by Lang. Derek looking for the Sixers' first field goal of the season. Instead is fouled en route.
Good entry pass on the wing. Derek Coleman stuck just for a second. Gathers himself in. That's what you want to do. If you find yourself off balance just a little bit, hesitate before you go up. Take a look at Derek. Off balance just a little bit. Gathers himself, puts the ball on the floor once, and takes it up strong. Derek Coleman, 4th leading scorer in preseason for the 76ers, averaging better than 11 points per game. And the leading rebounder at 9 per game in their 8 preseason games, where they went 4-4.
Derek, the first 2 of the game by way of the foul line. That's where we're tied. 90 seconds gone in this, the first quarter. Baker wants Coleman. 1-on-1. And Vin is going to go to the line.
If you're Chris Ford, the thing that you might want to do, and realizing that a lot of the offense for the 76ers will probably flow through Derek Coleman, see if you can pick up a quick foul or two. Vin Baker posted up left side, isolated down low. Was able to spin back to the baseline after getting into the middle and draw the foul.
And maybe that forces the early hand of Ford's counterpart, Johnny Davis, in that he helps Coleman with some doubling.
Well, what you want to do is you want to wait till the offensive player puts a ball on the floor and then quickly double down and then get your rotations properly. Sixers were just a little slow coming down.
Stackhouse off the screen. Sixers still looking for their first field goal. Douglas, the screen from Lang. Against a good defensive player in Michael Cage.
You know, that's just a fun matchup to watch down there with Cage and Andrew Lang. Both players are just solid basketball players that know how to defend, position themselves properly. So when you get a chance, watch those guys.
Iverson missing the 3. The Sixers missing their first 5 shots, though trailing by only 1.
And do you expect Ray Allen to miss his first shot? No, not the way he shot in preseason, huh? What, 55%?
I expect him to be a great pro.
Oh, I really do too.
Stackhouse against Ray Allen. Cage given room by Robinson, and Michael Cage, the first Sixer field goal here at the Core State Center. Maybe the most unlikely of all the starters, a guy who's usually the last option of the offense, as Ray Allen continues his good shooting here in the regular season.
Well, Allen shot almost 55% overall and 50% from downtown in their 7 preseason games.
Iverson bound and determined, air balls again, and this time has it blocked on his way to the hoop. And a quick whisper into the right ear of Allen Iverson by his backcourt partner Jerry Stackhouse. 6 to go on the shot clock. Weatherspoon has it blocked by Robinson. And that'll do it. You got to hit rim within 24, and the Sixers turn it over.
You know, it's amazing to watch Milwaukee on defense early on. I mean, this is a long season, but the first 3.5 minutes of this game so far, well, they have 3 block shots now. Much more aggressive defensively than they were last year. And I think you'll see the Sixers the same way. Overall last year, they were giving up about 105 points per game, and in preseason a little bit more than 100. So their defense picked up as well.
Baker wants Coleman, who picked up the early foul. Weatherspoon the late help, and a loose ball foul coming up on the Bucks. It's going to be Vin Baker, and Baker picking up his first personal foul.
Aggressive offensive rebounding by Vin Baker. A little too aggressive that time as he goes over the back.
So this game beginning in choppy fashion, not at all unusual for an opener. Stackhouse by Allen.
Tremendous play by Stackhouse, beating the Milwaukee Bucks baseline. Lang slow coming down in his help situation. Stack taking it to the other side for the jam.
Andrew Lang, his first field goal. The Bucks leading by 4 and change gone here in the first. Iverson hungry for the goal. There he goes, looking for the slam, and count it. It's going to be the first 2 points of the career of Allen Iverson by way of a goaltend against the Bucks. Score 2 for the rookie.
The crossover move, taking it up. There you see the hand inside the rim. Consequently, the officials making the call, the correct call.
Nick Van Exel of the Lakers saying that Iverson has the best crossover he's ever seen, period. Coleman standing tall, sandwiched by 2 Bucks. One of them is going to be called for the loose ball foul. It is going to be Glenn Robinson.
That's the type of play we expect from Derek Coleman. Being sandwiched, despite the fact that he was being sandwiched, he was still able to get the rebound and pull down and then get the foul on the opponent. That's what we saw in New Jersey. Obviously we didn't see that at all last year because of the injuries.
Coleman twice spraining his ankle. Out of shape from the get-go because of the irregular heartbeat in the preseason. To the floor against Baker. Yes!
Little soft shot by Derek Coleman. Putting the ball on the floor, getting into the middle.
Coleman now with 4 in the game. We're knotted at 10. Under 7 to play first quarter. Lang against Cage. Coleman attacking the boards with a vengeance here in the opening quarter. Weatherspoon sizes up Robinson.
That's his shot right there. As a 3, Clarence Weatherspoon should be able to get out on the fast break. He's fast enough to get down there. There you saw him shooting a little 10-12 footer. Good move by Spoon.
The Sixers here with their first lead as Robinson erases it with a tray. Robinson, who last year had a 4-point play in the midst of a 37-point performance against the 76ers, strokes the 3 there, and the Bucks back up 1. And now the steal by Allen, Stackhouse in his wake, and Jerry prevents the field goal, and he comes up with a foul. And now we have a timeout. Second team foul.
Go
veggies
ahead.
and fruit.
Go ahead. Have some oats and grain with them, too. I know that'd probably be you, right?
That's me, baby. You know that.
When he slips into cheeseburgers and pizza, I'll start. I know his career. He's thinking about retiring. That's when I'll join him for lunch.
Allen, 6'5", 205, the number 5 pick by Minnesota, acquired by the Bucks, along with a first-round pick in a trade for Stephon Marbury. Good lob for Coleman, met by the help, so he gives it up to Cage.
Dude, that's his shot, the wide-open jump shot. Never had the opportunity a whole lot in Cleveland to take that shot.
And an excellent spot, too, by Derek Coleman.
Yep.
And hasn't Andrew Lang done wonders with his offensive game in the last couple of seasons?
He really has. And there's a guy that's missed 21 games in the last 5 years. And I'll tell you what, last year he averaged almost 12 points per game, pulled down almost 7 rebounds. Here's a guy that has improved immensely since he was in a Sixers uniform.
8 to shoot for the Sixers. Coleman thinking 3 to the floor over Baker. Any doubts that Derek Coleman's ready to go?
No, none whatsoever. It was a nice little pump fake getting Glenn Robinson up in the air. Glenn's going to have to do a better job of defending that, stay on his feet. Robinson not the best defensive player in the world.
Coleman contending with Baker. And Vin, who averaged 19 and 10 in his last 2 seasons, both all-star campaigns, as the crowd ooh and ahs as Iverson gave it up to Stackhouse, who missed. Bucks by 3 with 4.5 to play in the first.
Little isolation on the right side by Milwaukee. That's their 2-up play when they try to isolate Allen.
Coleman missing the 3. And Baker the rebound.
Milwaukee really tries to isolate a couple ball players. One would be Robinson, the other one is Ray Allen. It's either their 3-up series or their 2-up series. A little high pick and roll right here by Milwaukee.
Douglas hiding behind Baker and stroking 2.
Take a look at Allen Iverson on that last play. The pick and roll, Allen Iverson is going behind the screen, which enables a jump shooter like Sherman Douglas to just stop at the 18-foot mark and take it in.
Coleman, after Baker gambled, met by the help on Donnan and the foul. DC now with 8 of the Sixers' 18, looking now for the 3-point play.
Good entry pass. Coleman taking it to the hoop strong. The left-hander, the kiss off the glass. See, there's the bump. That's a nice thing about coming in that side. Keeping your body between the ball and the defender. It doesn't matter whether you're left-handed or right-handed. Keep the ball away from the defender, get the bump, and get the kiss off the glass. Worst case scenario, you should get to the line to shoot 2.
Don McClain making his 76er debut, his 5th year out of UCLA, signed as a free agent, played last year with Denver. A guy who can score and in a hurry. Also Ray Allen going out, Johnny Newman in for him for the Bucks, and Scott Williams, his first appearance of the season, and really his first appearance in a long time, as he played very little last year, only 13 games, because of serious right knee problems. Scott still not 100%, but nonetheless running tonight without any sort of knee brace, as Coleman completes the 3-point play and the Sixers down a deuce.
You know, it's nice to see, and that's their 3-up series right there, running Glenn Robinson off of 3 screens, catching the ball at the high post. Last couple possessions, they were able to run the 2-up play. Whoa, my Stack! The quick step by Jerry Stackhouse going baseline. Wow. Newman just fresh off the bench, not quite loose yet. Stackhouse realizing that, just blowing by him.
And the foul is on Andrew Lang. It is his 2nd. So Chris Ford will yank him, and a former 76er, now with his 5th NBA team, Armin Gilliam, picked up during the offseason, will come into this game. And one thing we know Armin can do is score as Lang, the defensive player, heads to Chris Ford's bench.
I'll tell you what, Mark, it's nice to see, and both general managers of the Milwaukee Bucks and the Philadelphia 76ers have done a nice job not only filling out their starting lineup, but getting some bench as well. Last year, the 76ers, boy, when they went to their bench, that's basically when they start losing games. But now all of a sudden, Johnny Davis has that opportunity to go to his bench. Brad Greenberg doing a good job of getting some players to fill in off the bench.
Pretty play, Robinson to Douglas. Bucks go up 5. 3 and change to go in the first. Coleman wants Baker, and McClain obliges. Derek has it blocked. Looks for the foul, doesn't get it. Out of bounds, it'll be Milwaukee ball. Lucius Harris will come in when we come back from our break.
It's an interesting gentleman. You know, when you have a chance to really sit down and listen to him and talk to him, very interesting man. And one heck of a coach, I'll tell you that.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Lucius Harris officially into the game. Replacing Jerry Stackhouse, may be the best pure shooter on the Sixers team, acquired as a free agent. Scott Williams, the personal foul. Third on the team, so they have one more to give before the penalty situation. And a fresh 24 coming up for the Bucks. Alley-oop off the inbounds. Robinson for Baker. Iverson in a hurry. Douglas backpedaling. Forget it.
Yeah, one-on-one. He's going to beat you. Allen Iverson has that quickness. Sherman Douglas doesn't have the quickness to stay with Allen in the open court situation.
Nice look. Beautiful play as Douglas is shoved by McClain. So Sherman will go to the line, and he has to thank Vin Baker for the entire setup.
Take a look on the entry pass. Take a look and see where the double team comes from. Right there, it comes from the opposite baseline. Allen Iverson, and the rotation was slow coming down, helping Allen out. Take a look right there. You've got to get down quicker into the passing lanes. You can't leave your teammate hanging like that. Iverson coming over to double, and then it was either Harris or McClain has to get down there a little bit quicker. I didn't see who was the next in line.
And off the missed foul, the offensive rebound by Gilliam. So the Bucks retaining possession, up 5, 2:10 and counting here in the first. Iverson fighting through the screen that time. Good setup, Douglas for Baker. And McClain holds it down for the Sixers with 2 minutes to play. Iverson by Douglas. Yes, and we see where Allen Iverson thrives in that wide open floor.
Yeah, one heck of a move coming up the right side. The quick crossover once again, getting onto the left side as Robinson drills the deuce.
Robinson selected to the Olympic team, did not play because of an injury. Had a subpar preseason. As Gilliam, now guarding Coleman, forces him off the block. Derek slams for 2.
Good move by Coleman.
Coleman with 11 and 3 boards here in the first. The Buck lead is 3. Gilliam wants to return the favor against DC.
Yeah, if it's good on one end, it's got to be good on the other, and that's what you want to do. If you've got heart and you want to be a player, doesn't matter whether you're in the NBA or high school basketball, if somebody scores on you, your best move is to go down there and isolate yourself and try and score back on him so he doesn't start thinking that that player owns you the rest of the game.
Now it is Baker on Coleman. DC to work with 4 to shoot. It'll have to be Harris. That's for 3. Lucius really didn't have the chance to get his feet set with the shot clock running nigh as Baker walked with the ball with a half-minute to go here in the first.
Well, they were trying to get a little 2-for-1 situation. Sherman Douglas looked up at the clock, realized how much time was left, was going to pull it out and said, no, let's keep it going. Now, with 30.2 seconds to go, you don't have enough time for a 2-for-1, so you just come down and take the best shot that shows up.
The backup point guards are in. Doug Overton, the homeboy for the Sixers. Elliot Perry, another acquisition signed during the offseason by the Bucks.
Call him socks, if you will.
And now they call Perry on the hand check foul. Elliott wide-eyed at that call.
Personal foul on Elliott Perry. His first.
Silly foul by Elliott Perry because Overton wasn't going anywhere at that particular time. Had his arm out, hand on the hip.
Both teams in the penalty, and Doug Overton, the last guy to make the team, will go to the line. 6'3", 190, his 5th year in the NBA out of LaSalle. The first Philadelphia born and bred product to play for the 76ers since 81-82. Who were the 2 guys on that team who were Philadelphia born and bred? How would you know? You're from Toledo. You have no idea. Of course, you only play with the guys.
I told you last year I don't do trivia.
We noticed.
Well, fill everybody in. Let them know.
I'll have the answer in the second quarter. You stew about it a little bit.
Okay.
No shot clock here. 5 to play in the quarter. It's Perry for 2. Coleman sweeps away another rebound, and that'll do it for the quarter. A high-scoring first quarter here at the Core States Center.
Stuck my nose in Chris Ford's huddle. Very critical of the Milwaukee Bucks defense. Said they were soft regarding Derek Coleman. He scored 11 points, had 4 rebounds in the quarter. Beginning when the Milwaukee Bucks get the ball, he wants to go with 3 up, which should be a play for Glenn Robinson, Mark.
Chris Ford, a very demonstrative coach. 5 years the head coach in Boston. Was literally sitting home collecting a check from that position. Mark Davis, 6'7", 2nd year. Now into the game. He was acquired during the offseason wearing number 7. Right now D'ing it up now against a tough cover in Glenn Robinson. Don't count the field goal. We have a hand check foul against Davis. A good defensive player who is entrusted now with trying to slow up the big dog.
Just being isolated down low. Tough to defend anybody if you're not getting help.
Press 24 for the Bucks. Opening moment, second quarter. Johnny Newman, a good guy to have around. He's very versatile. He could swing between the 2 and the 3. Good outside shooter. He's always been able to score and play defense.
Now, he scored in double figures 46 times last year.
Don McLean got his own rebound. Gilliam the board for the Bucks. Joe Wolf, number 23, into the Milwaukee lineup for the first time tonight. Gilliam, Williams with a piece of the rock. Sixers down 5 with a ball, and it's Overton now at the point, as Johnny Davis has gone totally to his bench. Davis, good spin move. Mark Davis, who likes to take it to the hoop, good in the open floor, very athletic, and had some good games for the Sixers during the preseason. Newman, the bump and run with Harris, that would have counted. And a foul coming up on Sweet Lou.
Bucks really looking to push it at every opportunity here in the first period and then early on here in the second period. Sherman Douglas does a good job of pushing it. Perry will do a good job of pushing it. So if you're the Sixers or anybody that Milwaukee's playing, you've got to think about getting back defensively. Send 2 guys to the offensive boards, and then you've got to get your rotations properly and get back defensively and pick somebody up.
Glenn Robinson 3 for 4 for 7, takes his first blow, and the rookie who started at the off guard tonight, Ray Allen, in for him as Chris Ford goes smaller. With Newman now swinging to the small forward to contend with Mark Davis. McLean wants a piece of Wolf, but before he could do so, he walked with the ball.
McLean doesn't believe he did, but as soon as he swung around to square up, that left foot moved. Watch his left foot as he swings, catches the ball. Jack, see that left foot right there? It moved. That thing has to stay stationary. Kind of a nitpicky call because a lot of guys move that foot. Patrick Ewing, one of them.
Except his status is a bit more lofty in the NBA in terms of the referee's perception than Don McLean, with all apologies, of course, to Don.
Well, that has a lot to do with it as well.
Harris to the floor by Allen. That would have counted. And Lucius will find his way to the line. Compliments of the rookie Ray Allen. Second on him, first on the team.
Substitution for Sixers.
The muscular Michael Cage back into the game for Scott Williams. And Cage at 34, along with Williams, will make up the two-headed center combination this coming season for the 76ers, although there is another center on his way. His name is Mark Bradkey, and as soon as the Australian League Championships have concluded in about a week or so, and once he clears customs and all that, Bradkey at 6'10" will make his NBA debut at 28.
And he'll wear number 50. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
What are your feelings on that?
Well, I don't have a problem with that. It's the Isaac Austins of the world that when they give number 50 out, I've got a problem with.
Gilliam, the offensive board, earning the Bucks another 24 with 2 and change gone. They lead the Sixers by 1. Gilliam bumping with Cage, another offensive rebound. One too many as Gilliam comes up glaring at the official, looking for a call. In the meantime, the Bucks crashing the offensive glass and finally coming up with a field goal.
I will say one thing about Bradkey. He did lead the Olympics in rebounding this past summer.
Perry off the floor. Newman sized up by Davis. Don't count the field goal. Mark Davis instead is going to be called for the personal foul. That'll be number 2 on him.
Perry with the outlet pass after the ball. After he was able to pick that thing up. Looked like I'm not sure about the foul. I didn't see the foul. Davis might have a legitimate gripe on that one.
Joe Wolf was playing with his 7th team in now 9 NBA seasons. Back to the bench, and Vin Baker in for him.
Let's take another look. There's Davis coming across. He does get his leg, but you can see that Newman kicked that leg out, realizing that Davis was going to run by, and that did throw Newman off as he was getting ready to shoot the shot.
It's an old NBA trick jump shooters like to use. Kick that leg out.
Goes back to World Be Free.
Yes. Sixers down 3 with the ball. Almost 3 minutes gone, second quarter. Davis, the screen by Cage, and he is a good pick setter. Good defense by the Bucks. On the floor it goes, and finally Milwaukee has it. Gilliam, not a known ball handler, finds Baker, who finishes nicely, and the Bucks lead it by 5.
And that play was set up by Newman, who just dove on the floor for the loose ball.
Allen's mother, who wrote a letter to John Thompson asking him to please consider her son at Georgetown. He did. And the rest, as we like to say in cliche land, is history. And we think that Allen will be making history in a 76er uniform before his career is finished. This his rookie season. Coming out of Georgetown after his sophomore year as Harris missed the layup. Cage broke it free. Good job, but there's Perry to come up with a rock for Milwaukee. Jumps into the J. Elliott Perry, a nice acquisition, of course. Became known as Sox when he played with the Phoenix Suns. I believe Charles Barkley gave him that nickname. Acquired actually in a trade with the Suns. The Bucks right now leading by 7. That's their biggest advantage. Cage earning the Sixers a fresh 24, and they could use it now. Down 7. 4 and change gone here in the second quarter. McClain. Good job by Cage, fighting the good fight. But there's Gilliam to come away with it for Milwaukee. McClain the steal, the pass intended. Perry for Baker.
Okay, well, that was good defense by McClain, and Overton finishes off the break. Give McClain a lot of credit there for anticipating the lob pass to Vin Baker, who hustles over there, picks it off, and then kicks it out to Overton.
Overton, his first 76er field goal, makes it a 5-point game. McClain bumping and grinding with Gilliam as they go to work. Perry. The Bucks a year ago, winners of 25 games. They were 2-1 against the Sixers, but of course both teams are vastly different as Harris tries the left hand, and now he will try his hand at the foul line.
Yeah, you know what? I think take either one of these two teams. I think it'd be totally unfair to say anything about last year's team for either one of these teams right here. I mean, forget about last year if you're for the Milwaukee Bucks or the Philadelphia 76ers. Last year's team have nothing to do with this year's team because they're just totally different.
Ray Allen, his third personal foul. Chris Ford speaking with him about that. In the meantime, Armin Gilliam out. Andrew Lang back as both coaches going back to their starters. Derek Coleman has re-entered for the 76ers. So has Allen Iverson, and so has Clarence Weatherspoon. And now Allen will go out, and Darren Hancock, very athletic guy, just coming off a couple of seasons with the Charlotte Hornets, in his third year out of Kansas, will come in for Chris Ford. So Ford has played 10 players here in the first half, as has Johnny Davis. He has 11 dressed. The rookie Hendrickson right now, Mark Hendrickson on the injured list, as Davis unhappy with that call as Newman went to the goal, was fouled by Cage, and now Johnny Newman will go to the line.
Coming off the circle move, getting a couple screens. That's their 3 up. This time they're running it for Newman. Was able to get into the paint, and the foul was called on Cage. Looked like he had all ball there.
Nonetheless, the first on Michael and the fourth on the team as Jerry Stackhouse comes back. So the Sixer starting lineup now reunited, as Newman makes his first foul shot of the night. He's 1 for 5, somewhat unusual, an 81% career foul shooter. Sixers down 5. 6:40 and counting here in the first half. Stackhouse wants Newman, a good defensive play. Jerry, pretty move on the baseline, followed up and in by Coleman, who's having a terrific first half. He's got 13 to lead everybody in the game. Sixers have trailed throughout most of the first half. They're down 3 as now Baker will make DC work defensively, and in making his move, he walks with the ball.
It's that little shuffle of the foot before he puts the ball on the floor. Guess the two-time All-Star hasn't reached the Patrick Ewing level yet either, has he? A lot of guys haven't reached that level.
Ewing, one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history, so named as part of the 50th anniversary celebration. Weatherspoon misses. So does Coleman. 2-on-2. Perry, nice look. Newman, who splashes 2 for the Bucks.
Well, that was a pretty fast break run by the Bucks. It was a 2-on-2 situation. But I'll tell you what, with Ellie Perry sliding in from that right side, it caused the defense just to shuffle over enough to open up the middle.
Running Stackhouse around the Coleman screen. Jerry nurses in 2, and a good look by Iverson as they executed perfectly there in the set. Johnny Davis likes to run a lot of motion offense, but lately has been putting in more and more individual plays for certain players, and that one run perfectly by his Sixers. Newman and Cage with the board. 7 in the game.
Great pass by Iverson and a tremendous finish by Stackhouse, as Stackhouse was pointing for the lob the entire way. Woo, my!
Sixers down 1. Exactly 5 to play first half. Baker wants Coleman. Robinson. Don't count it. Instead, we have a loose ball foul against Milwaukee. It's going to be on Glenn Robinson. That'll be number 2 on him.
Late call, but Johnny Davis will take it as the shot goes up by Baker. Now, the call's not made until right there. You can see that everybody's looking over after the shot has gone up. A late call, but as I said, the Sixers will take it. And for Glenn, that's his second personal.
Sixers looking for their first lead of the second quarter. Weatherspoon wants Robinson. Illegal defense against the Bucks. The first call of the night.
Now hold on a minute. They're going to reverse that.
Correction. No illegal.
So what's the call? Inadvertent whistle then, in other words.
Yeah.
The Sixers inbounding here. They have 13 to shoot after the inadvertent whistle.
First game for the officials as well, because you're allowed to go on the ball fake into the post. As long as the ball's over your head, you're allowed to go down there and fake the double team.
Andrew Lang is hurt as he was coming over to help on the lob to Clarence Weatherspoon. Grabbed his left thigh, and he is slow recovering. Meantime, Spoon will go to the line after this play.
Good entry pass, and we know that Coleman can pass the basketball. And you take a look at Andrew Lang coming over from the weak side. Going to come back into your picture right there. Now let's take a look. Kind of comes down a little awkward on that left leg.
So some foul problems for Chris Ford to be concerned about as Lang comes off. He has 3 personals. The rookie Allen with 3. But remember, with the likes of Armand Gilliam now in Milwaukee Buck uniforms, this Buck team is a lot deeper than it was last year. Absolutely.
But I think if you're Derek Coleman at this stage, if Armand Gilliam, who's not known for his defense, I think you go down to Coleman or isolate him out on the wing, one or the other.
1 of 2 for Spoon as Douglas makes the layup in typical fashion. Fouled, and he will go to the line. Allen Iverson, the personal foul.
Not the quickest guy in the world, but deceptive. As Sherman Douglas with a little crossover. See, you don't have to be the fastest guy in the world. You just come up at a certain speed, and then all of a sudden, boom, you can put on the afterburners. And if you're going 50% or 60%, then all of a sudden you go 80 or 90, you can get by this defensive player.
Sixers having trouble with the Milwaukee defense are forced to call the 22nd timeout. Stackhouse screening for Weatherspoon. Clarence double teamed. Open Coleman. No. Everything but the bucket for the Sixers, who read the double perfectly. Clarence went plunging into open space, but could not convert the layup. Douglas. Again, they try to pick off Iverson with the Robinson screen. It works. Coleman with good help. Cage the block against Baker, out of bounds. 4 to shoot for Milwaukee. Good defense by Michael Cage.
Once again, positioned himself perfectly to get the block. On the high pass to Baker, take a look right there. Good position as Baker was pushed underneath the basket just a little bit.
Iverson, this is going to be something with Stackhouse. He slammed for 2.
Oh my.
Iverson with a raging slam to pull the Sixers to within 1, and just that quickly, the big dog barks. Milwaukee lead is 3 as Iverson eyes up Douglas. Six to shoot. Stackhouse doubled on the perimeter. Over Baker, yes! Jerry with 9 in the first half, which has 3 minutes to run. Newman and Stackhouse. Now it's Baker and Cage. Weatherspoon to help, rips it away and knocks it out of bounds. What's there not to like?
Absolutely. When you take a look at the fast break points right there, 76ers with 12, the Milwaukee Bucks with 9.
6 to shoot here for the Bucks. Newman throws up a 3. Baker controls the boards. The Bucks have done well off the offensive glass here in the first half. They lead by 3 as the Sixers, with 2.5 to go in the second, go into their motion offense.
Well, for Baker, that was his 5th rebound.
Derek Coleman has it blocked. To the floor it goes. Good hustle by Iverson. Did he call timeout before Douglas tied him up?
No, he got fouled.
All right, that's even better.
Yeah, Douglas can't believe it. And you used to be able to just dive on the guy no matter who had the ball where he had it, and you'd get a jump ball situation. Let's take a look. On the block, Vin Baker doing a good job defensively. Now take a look at Iverson doing a good job. He's going to fall to the floor, and boom, right there. There's Sherman Douglas just falling on the top of him. And the foul is called. Right call. But those things haven't been called much in the past.
You know, with a car, you have an accelerator. You can vary the speed. Allen Iverson has one speed, on.
Is that something new?
On. Oh, the accelerator?
Yeah.
Let me bring you into the 20th century, a mere 5 years before the 21st.
I'm still trying to figure out my answering phone, so trying to figure out how to work that thing.
Bucks by 2 with the ball. Robinson. Another offensive rebound, this one by Baker off the floor, and a fresh 24 for Milwaukee. Illegal defense, yes it is, against the 76ers. And that is the first such call of the night against either team. More than one, and it results in a technical foul being shot by the opposition, and the ball back. And the Bucks will inbound now with a fresh 24. Robinson isolated on Weatherspoon. Terrific matchup. Good defense by Clarence. Another offensive rebound. That one by Baker. And a Sixer foul coming up on Mr. Weatherspoon.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's just a horse down there. Vin Baker doing an excellent job. He's got 7 boards here already in the first half. Take a look. No question, that should have been a foul right there on Spoon. On the pump fake as Robinson leans in, but the long arms of Vin Baker going up, grabbing the 7th board and getting the foul. This guy dropped some weight, probably about 15 pounds or so. Wanted to be quicker, wanted to have a little bit more agility, and I think you can see that in the way he's playing so far in the first half.
His Bucks with 90 seconds to play in the first half, leading by 4. Coleman wants it against Baker. Iverson instead the deuce. To the floor he goes, nothing called as Robinson corrals the rebound for Milwaukee. Again, they rub Iverson off the screen. Gilliam from Douglas. Douglas, the follow-up, and it's good. And another offensive board for the Bucks here in the first half. Iverson is fouled on his way in. It is on Johnny Newman. Both teams in the penalty. So we'll have a foul shot here with under a minute to play.
After the basket by Sherman Douglas, Allen Iverson was streaking down the court, and Derek Coleman was able to find him. Sixers did have the advantage, so that was a pretty good move by Newman to foul Allen Iverson. Make him at least earn it from the free throw stripe.
Iverson, the second Sixer into double figures. He now has 11. Sixers 14 for 17 from the line in the first half. They're down 4. Again, they set up Iverson in the pick and roll. This time he goes under and comes up safely against Douglas. 5 to shoot. It'll be Baker.
Sixers do have the opportunity with 37 seconds to go to get a little 2-for-1 action. Clear out a side. Take it to the hoop quick.
Stackhouse wants it in deep against Newman. Nice look for Coleman, who missed the jam. That's because Gilliam was hanging all over him. But a perfect bounce pass, Jerry Stackhouse, for the diving Coleman. And Derek Coleman to the line.
That really was. That's quick recognition by Jerry Stackhouse, realizing that the double team was on him. Who's open? Find the open man quickly. And he was able to do so as Derek Coleman was standing wide open in the paint.
We've changed the foul to number 10, Gilliam.
Gilliam picking up the personal foul. That is his first. And DC going to the line.
Once again, see, look at that quick recognition, realizing who was coming over, Vin Baker, and where's the open man.
Coleman with a dozen to go along with his 6 boards and 3 assists. About a 2-second difference between the clocks. Sixers down 5. Douglas eyes up Iverson. To work he goes. Fielded by Baker in front of Coleman. And Vin is fouled.
It's about his 5th offensive board.
His second.
They called it on Cage, number 2 on him.
You got 2 right here.
But realizing, especially the second half, now if you're the coach, Johnny Davis, you've got to go in and say, okay, who's ever defending Vin Baker, the shot goes up, put a body on him. I mean, he's going to end up with 10 offensive boards here in the first game if you don't put a body on him, because he's always attacking.
Chris Ford here not wanting to risk a late foul with 5 seconds to go, putting in bench players, among them Darren Hancock and Elliot Perry, as the Sixers here with one last gasp, and Iverson could go in a hurry. Against Perry, no. And that will do it. This first half is history, the first ever game here at the Core State Center. At first glance, all the starters in for both teams, including Andrew Lang, who came up injured, and the rookie Ray Allen, who's got 3 personal fouls. As they go to work here in the first quarter, do the Milwaukee Bucks. They immediately draw a 76er foul. It is Jerry Stackhouse. Very solid first half for Stack. 4 for 7 shooting, 9 points.
Bucks do a wonderful job of running that pick and roll. And they've got a lot of options off that. That time they were running the 14, which is the 1-4. You've got the point guard coming off the 4 player. And as he gets into the paint, depending on what happens, Sherman Douglas can take it all the way to the hoop. Or if the defense rotates around, your 5, which is on the big block, he can get it to him as well. And the defense rotated nicely.
Off the floor, Douglas, and now he is on the floor in pain after being hit by Iverson, who is tagged with a personal foul, number 2 on him.
Boy, that's not supposed to happen at all. As the shot was missed, the free throw was missed. Right there's the foul. But I'll tell you what, that Sixers fell asleep temporarily, and Sherman Douglas was able to get that missed free throw.
Sixers with 2 team fouls in the first 16 seconds. Robinson, as the Bucks had a fresh 24, but the big dog had no interest in using the clock. He strokes 2 into double figures with 11.
The net missed free throw by the Milwaukee Bucks, getting that offensive board, gave the opportunity to the Bucks, and they took advantage of it. Little situations like that win and lose ball games.
Bucks by 10, the first double-figure lead of the night. Baker is the ad-lib off the set, strokes 2 over Coleman. So it's the Bucks by a dozen now. A minute and change gone here in the third. Coleman wants Baker. Vin the front. Still trying to get it to DC, and finally Cage does. And in the meantime, Baker is caught for the personal foul. And that's number 3 on him. Check that, number 2 on Baker, his 2nd personal foul. Lang and Allen, by the way, for the Bucks, each with 3 personals. Fresh 24 for the Sixers. Stackhouse over Baker. Allen the rebound.
Baker's going for all the shots, looking to block every one, as he ended up with 3. Whoa, my!
Lang missed on the follow, the miss by Robinson, but Baker is sure in the early third quarter timeout.
The Milwaukee Bucks so far in this quarter have 3 offensive rebounds to their credit after a minute and a half. See, once again, those are the little things that hurt you. And I know Johnny Davis will take care of that situation.
Sixers eager for the field goal out of the timeout, looking Coleman's way, but he's fronted by Baker, so Iverson instead strokes the tray, the first of his career. Iverson leads the Sixers in scoring with 14. That's a nice chunk out of the Buck lead. It's down to 11. Douglas around Iverson for two, and in typical fashion, Sherman hard to the wood as the Sixers come the other way. Stackhouse has it stripped by Baker. Douglas with company, among them Allen, trailing Robinson, and will jump it up. Good defense by the Sixers to stop the buck break cold and force the jump ball.
I'll tell you what, that was good defense, as you said, Mark, by the Sixers. Take a look. They've got four guys. The Milwaukee Bucks have four guys running. Iverson hustles back, and right there, Coleman hustles back, and so does Cage. Once again, those are the things there that say, okay, win, lose, when you hustle back defensively.
The Sixers losing the jump ball. It was between Robinson and Coleman. And now Mike Mathis with a call. Violation against the Bucks on the jump ball. The 76ers will take possession. We played 2.5 in this, the third quarter. The Bucks coming out of the gate, getting 7 unanswered points. Iverson answering out of the huddle with a trade moments ago to give him 14 to lead the Sixers. We now trail 67-54. Baker again fronting Coleman, and it will be a foul on Vin Baker, and that's personal number 3 on him. 76ers basketball is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better.
Go down to Coleman again.
Iverson strong to the hole. Douglas the personal foul.
Once again, I think if you're the Philadelphia 76ers, knowing that Vin Baker picked up 2 quick ones, but take a look at Allen Iverson getting into the paint. You can just see Sherman Douglas just reaching out and grabbing the left arm of Allen Iverson. Try to pick up foul number 4 on Vin Baker if at all possible.
Iverson second on the team in scoring during the preseason, about 17 per game. 1 of 2 makes the lead a dozen. Baker as Iverson went flying by. Off the floor, it's Douglas and a press 24. Alley-oop Douglas for Baker. Somehow it went in.
Off the fingertip. Look what I found type of basket.
Baker with 19 to lead them all as Coleman bowls into him. Iverson on the follow.
Continue to go down to Derek Coleman the next couple possessions. That'll force Chris Fort's hand, maybe switching Andrew Lang over to him.
Robinson lofts a 3. Wow. In front of Cage is Andrew Lang.
Another O-board. Just shooting yourself in the foot, continuing to give up that many offensive rebounds. Johnny Davis has to do something to get somebody in there, start blocking somebody off the boards.
Coleman now coming out onto the wing, putting it on the floor against Baker, looking down low for the cutting Iverson. So that time they brought Coleman off the blocks to let him play make for one Allen Iverson.
Wonderful pass by Derek Coleman.
He's got 4 assists go along with his 12 points and 6 boards, and as Douglas makes his foray, Coleman and Iverson both converging on him, and it's going to be Allen Iverson with a personal foul. It'll be his 3rd.
Iverson, his 3rd.
Sherman Douglas, once again, not the quickest guy, but really can get to just about any spot on the floor that he wants to. Is quick enough to do so and a good enough ball handler.
Scott Williams coming in for Michael Cage. Williams, 6 minutes in the first half, scoreless and a board. Douglas will get another. Bucks again matching their largest lead. 4 and change gone here in the 3rd. Running, Stackhouse around the Williams screen. Jerry to the floor, into the hoop for 2 more. Stack, the 3rd Sixer, into double figures with 11, joining Iverson and Coleman. The lead, a dozen again. Weatherspoon off the Allen misses. The Sixer fans getting into it here in the 3rd. Iverson for Coleman. He was hacked by Andrew Lang, and for the Bucks starting center, his 4th personal foul.
Allen Iverson pushing the basketball up, taking it into the heart of the Milwaukee Bucks defense, and the kickoff to Coleman, who takes it to the hoop and draws the 4th personal foul on Andrew Lang.
Johnny Davis, his debut as a coach, period, at any level. Assuming the Jack Ramsey stance on his knee. Ramsey happens to be the coach, says Johnny, who influenced him the most. And of course, he played for Ramsey back in 1976-77 when the Trailblazers beat the 76ers in the NBA Finals.
But didn't Jack always have that towel under his knee?
Yes, he did.
Johnny's a little bit tougher.
Well, exactly.
He doesn't have that towel.
Sixers have whittled it to 10. Robinson face to face with Weatherspoon. Clarence a hand on it. Douglas stopped short by Williams. Good look, Robinson for 2. Douglas took a broken play and made something out of it, as the Buck lead is back to 12.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, the Sixers did an excellent job of defending that possession, only to find an open player underneath the hoop. That was a good 24-second defense by the 76ers, their last possession. As you said, they cut it down to 10, looking to get a steal or a turnover. And then all of a sudden, Sherman Douglas does a great job of getting the ball over to Glenn Robinson for the deuce.
Coleman taking the foul in the backcourt on Robinson, as Baker goes to work this time on Williams. Sixers crashing the boards. Coleman rising above the pack. Iverson all the way. Yes!
Open court player, Allen Iverson. I don't see anybody around that's going to be able to stop him in the open court.
Iverson, a stunning 3rd quarter, 10 of his 21 here, and we're not even halfway through it. Sixers down 10 as Douglas bumping and running with Iverson in typical Sherman Douglas fashion. Weatherspoon on the wing. Williams, another chance, blocked and fouled by Armin Gilliam.
Personal foul on Armin Gilliam, his 2nd.
Spoon whipped the shot. Williams doing a good job of getting inside position, anticipating the missed shot, and that's what you do as a rebounder. You hope your teammate's shot goes in, but you're always trying to position yourself to get the old board just in case. Even the best shooters at 50% are going to miss half their shot, so always assume that the shot is going to be missed. Try to get offensive positioning every single time, and maybe you'll end up with 2 or 3 old boards per game, which would be a lot.
2 for Williams. It's a 10-point game again. Every time the Sixers have gotten it to 10, the Bucks have had an answer. Coleman sweeps away his 8th board. Stackhouse trying to bust Ray Allen. Setting up Coleman, but as he went to the hoop, he stepped on the baseline, and the Sixers turned it over. It has been a relatively clean game from that standpoint. Only 6 turnovers on Johnny Davis's club, and only 5 on the Milwaukee Bucks. Baker leading on Williams. And Scott Williams will be called for the personal foul. That's a real load to try to contain in Vin Baker. Williams picking up foul number 2. Both teams in the penalty. Baker to the line.
Isolated down low. 1 dribble, 2 dribble. Allen Iverson coming down, but Vin Baker was able to make the spin move back and draw the contact. You almost might want to think about just changing your defense temporarily. As soon as that low post player catches the ball, then send the double team instead of waiting for him to put the ball on the floor. 2 dribbles, I think, is a little too many for a low post player to have. Just change it up a little bit. Give him a different look.
Elliot Perry off the bench in at point, replacing Sherman Douglas. And it's now Perry against Iverson. Pick and roll for the Sixers. Iverson lost it on the floor. Gets it back. Knee burns and all.
Wow.
Sixers with a fresh 24 out of it. Good look. Williams from Weatherspoon.
That's great hustle. That's great hustle right there. Sixers cut the lead to 10. That's what's going to get you back into the ball game right now. Plays like that.
Under 5 to play, third quarter. They want Baker again against Williams. Weatherspoon the help, surrounded, and the steal. And we get a break for Iverson ahead of Perry.
There you go. Getting that turnover. Good solid defense. Getting the turnover, pushing the basketball up.
Iverson leading all scorers with 23, a dozen coming here in the third. The Sixers get it to 8. Looking Baker's way against Williams. Vin Baker, a continuation. Iverson looking for the travel. It is not forthcoming. Instead, a frustrated Clarence Weatherspoon looks the other way as he's called for the personal foul.
Off the good defense by the Sixers, Allen Iverson finishing it off with the layup. Lead now is 8. Remember a few minutes ago it was 14.
Don McLean off of Johnny Davis's bench as Scott Williams was called for that foul moments ago. That is personal number 3 on him. McLean is into the game for the aforementioned Clarence Weatherspoon. As the Bucks look for another from the line. Vin Baker now 9 for 10 from the stripe tonight. Interesting because he is only a 64% career foul shooter. And he spots the Bucks, the 10-point margin under 4 to play in the third. Again running stack, pick and roll, pretty play all but the finish. Coleman not giving up off the floor, comes back and misses. And this time Robinson has it for Milwaukee. Coleman a board away from a double-double, and he's got 5 assists. McLean dealing with the big dog. Stackhouse. And now Coleman will set it up for the 76ers. Davis calling for the motion offense. Iverson doubled off the pick and roll. Good rotation by Armin Gilliam to come up with a steal. Perfectly executed by the Milwaukee defense. And here's Gilliam open, and that's dangerous.
Now he's now knocked down that wide open shot as Johnny Davis now wants to get a timeout as the 8-point lead has been stretched to 14 now by the Milwaukee Bucks.
Been a very entertaining game. Right now trailing the Bucks by 14 as Milwaukee continues to hold the 76ers at arm's length here in the third quarter, despite the fact that Iverson is having a sparkling debut here. 23 points and 5 assists, 9 for 14 shooting. Iverson, who looked a little tight early on, loosened up quickly and has put on a stunning display here in his NBA debut tonight.
Exciting basketball player. 23 points. Got 5 assists.
But clearly the margin for Milwaukee coming from the front line, and a big part of that front line, Vin Baker, sitting out here late in the third as the Bucks take it away. Curry alley-oop. Oh, and Allen almost hammered it home one-handed. McLean springs Iverson. Beautiful bounce pass to Coleman, who slams for 2. What a pass by Iverson.
Making assist number 6 now for Allen Iverson. As Ray Allen almost completed a great play, missed the dunk, and then it was Coleman and Iverson at the other end.
Robinson now the number 1 option with Baker on the bench. They can't get it to him. Stackhouse to the wood, nothing called. Gilliam another offensive rebound. And we have a call here coming up against Milwaukee. It's going to be on Gilliam. And for Gilliam, his 3rd personal.
There's the missed alley-oop. And Ray Allen just missing the slam. Now watch this. Great bounce pass by Iverson right there. About a 25-foot bounce pass, catching Coleman in stride. Those passes are extremely difficult to make.
Don McLean finally connects. And for McLean, his first 76er field goal. In the meantime, take note, Iverson to the bench for that late third quarter blow. Doug Overton in for him.
Well, I'd like to see McLean get on a roll here, and he can do it.
Robinson, who can clearly do it. Coleman, another board, give him a double-double, his 10th, go along with 16 points. And now he'll run the show against David Wood, who has just come in. Coleman, Stackhouse for three. On the floor. Who wants it? Finally, Coleman. What a pass from McLean, and he couldn't grab the ball. Goes out of bounds off Armin Gilliam. Sixers will retain possession, but almost sheer wizardry on the part of Coleman as he spotted McLean over the head, but Don just couldn't control it.
Look at this pass here with the left hand. Woo, my.
A finish would have sent this crowd into a frenzy.
Absolutely.
Overton, offensive foul, Doug Overton.
You don't see that call very often, but Johnny Newman with good position down low as Overton was taking it to the hoop. Take a look at Newman. He was set, no question.
Of course, if you're under the basket as a defender, most times that'll be a block. But he was not quite under the basket, so the charge on Overton. Bucks by 10 with the ball, just over a minute to play in the third. Perry lines up a three. Wood broke it loose, but Lucius Harris just into the game, controls for the Sixers. All bench and Coleman for Johnny Davis. As Johnny Newman knocked it away from Don McLean. Sixers have it with 17 to shoot and 55 to go in the third quarter. McLean. That would have counted. And Don McLean now will head to the line as he was fouled on the play. David Wood, his 8th team in 7 years, commits the personal foul, primarily an outside shooter, always seems to stick with some roster. And McLean, who was excellent during the preseason, not only shooting fouls, but getting to the foul line, will get another.
Derek Coleman on the inbounds pass and the quick release by McLean. He misses the first free throw, will step up to the line to shoot again.
Quickly, Chris Ford going back to Baker. In for Wood. 1 of 2 for McLean.
Well, it's a good decision in a 2-for-1 situation. Go to your go-to guy coming down the stretch, which will be Ben Baker.
Sixers down 9. Right now going to Robinson against McLean. And wait a second, a traveling violation on Glenn Robinson. 9 turnovers on each team.
Now the Sixers with a 2-for-1 on the turnover. Johnny Davis calling the foreplay, getting into that floor option. Four down.
Coleman and Baker. It's their show. Derek hack from behind. He'll go to the line for 2.
And for Ben, that's 4. You take the gamble by bringing him back into the ball game. Ben Baker should know better than to go for the pump fake, but he gets off his feet just a little bit, and that was enough for Derek Coleman to lean in and draw the 4th personal foul on Ben Baker. That could be a big point in the 4th period coming down the stretch.
And I'm looking at Chris Ford to see if maybe he won't yank Baker back here with a half-minute to go, and indeed that's going to be the case as he calls David Wood off the bench. And that's a good move, as Ford obviously wanted to take advantage of Baker and get him going offensively with 2 more possessions, and now he's got to sit him.
But let me ask you a question. If you're going to put him in a 2-for-1 situation, why would you go down to Robinson down low? If you're not going to go to the man, don't even bother to put him in. Just leave him sit to the end of the quarter. If you're going to go, if you're going to go to him, put him down the low block and let Robinson pass the ball in.
Don McLean to the bench as Johnny Davis sends in his excellent defensive player, Mark Davis, for what could be the final Milwaukee possession. About 5-second difference between the shot and game clock, and the Sixers have it to 7. Down by as many as twice that here in the third. Good defensive pressure by the Sixers. Wood has to bring it up against Coleman. Davis looking for the steal, goes plowing into Perry, and Mark Davis is going to pick up personal foul number 3. Good scrambling defense by the Sixers, coming that close to coming up with the turnover.
A lot of options this year for Johnny Davis. Goes with that lineup. Overton and Davis, Lucius Harris. Quick team. They can press. DC's into pressing as well, full court and half court. That's a good team out there. After Derek Coleman made the 2 free throws, they go to the full court trap. Almost get the steal.
Now Chris Ford during the offense-defense thing is Glenn Robinson, who's got 15 of the game sits. Darren Hancock in for him, and now Arvin Gilliam to the bench for Joe Wolf. Shot clock is unplugged. The Sixers could hold for 1, which they probably will. Perry makes it a 9-point game. Time remaining here in the 3rd. Coleman with 5 seconds to play. In action against Wood. Yes! Derek Coleman, a terrific game tonight. 20 points, 11 boards. And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. The Bucks taking the 1st, the 2nd, all even in the 3rd. Tony Irving, what do you know as we begin the final quarter?
Here's trying.
We hope to pick up Tony in just a few moments. In the meantime, that's Lucius Harris with the miss. And the Bucks have it here, opening moments 4th quarter. 87-80, Milwaukee in front.
The thing you have to guard against right now is not falling into the same situation that you did in the 3rd by allowing Milwaukee to come out and build that 8-point lead up to about 12, 14 points. Then the hill becomes a mountain to try and climb back from. So right off the bat, you've got a turnover on the Milwaukee Bucks. 76ers down 7, have a chance to cut it to 5.
Arvin Gilliam, the personal foul, the offensive foul, hooking Don McClain as he made his move, his 4th. Tony Irving, what do you know?
Well, Johnny applauded the team for cutting the 14-point deficit down to 7. Likes the effort, and that initial play was supposed to be a jump shot for Lucius Harris. Mark?
Here a jump shot for Don McClain. He's got that unique release. And the Sixers have come back from 14 to cut it to 5. Perry still manning the point for Sherman Douglas. Overton still in for Iverson. Gilliam wants it against McClain, who looks to hip him off the block. What a war they have going. And finally, Mike Mathis says, I've seen enough, and he calls the foul. Don McClain, the personal. 2 on him, and the 1st on the team.
Good battle down low, McClain and Gilliam. Fighting Arvin Gilliam, trying to get inside position. McClain trying to fight over.
It all translates into a fresh 24 for the Bucks. Good play by Overton. That was Newman off the screen. Sixers with the numbers. Harris trailing.
Down the 3. The lead is down the 3, and Chris Ford says, hey, we need a timeout here.
John Thompson's got a vested interest here. 2 of his sons. His son Ronnie actually works for the 76ers as a video coordinator. The other one, obviously, is Allen Iverson. What do you think about the young man so far?
I think he's doing very well. I think it's a lot for him to learn, but I think he's going to be a very outstanding player in this league.
Did you tell him that you thought he was ready to come into the league at this time after 2 years of college?
I told him he should stay at Georgetown for 10 years.
I don't think Jim Boeheim would have liked that.
I don't think he would have liked it, but I would have loved it.
Thanks a lot for joining us, and welcome to Philadelphia.
As Iverson watches the bench help bring the Sixers back, the crowd really getting into it now with 90 seconds gone in the 4th, and the Sixers now down by only 3.
Very lively on the defensive end by the Philadelphia 76ers.
Newman for 3. Long rebound to Robinson, fresh 24. It's Perry for 3, and he hits. Elliot Perry with 7 off the bench.
Career 38% three-point shooter, drills one there to extend the lead to 6.
And as McLean tries to establish position, he is fouled by Darren Hancock. Only the first team foul on the Milwaukee Bucks.
There's a look at Perry, doubling the lead of the Milwaukee Bucks with that triple.
Fresh 24, Overton spotting Williams. Broken loose by McLean, out of bounds. Last touch by Milwaukee. Good hustle off the offensive glass by Don McLean. Another fresh shot clock. Williams is blocked. Going up with a half hook.
Armin Gilliam coming down with another board, his 13th on the evening.
Perry and Gilliam do the pick and roll thing. That one is for 2. Williams and Davis share credit for that rebound. 2.5 gone here in the fourth. Sixers down 6. They led only a couple of times, very briefly, back in the first quarter. Overton, and he's fouled by Armin Gilliam. And for Gilliam, if our accounting is correct, that is his 5th personal foul. Chris Ford contemplating now, as he knows he might want to bring Gilliam back at some point. He remains in the game.
I think you can afford to lose Armin Gilliam. You just can't afford to lose Vin Baker, who has 4.
Oohs and ahs from the crowd as McLean did the 180. Couldn't finish the shot.
So you try to go as long as you can with Armin Gilliam before he picks up number 6. Hopefully he doesn't if you're Chris Ford. But you don't want Vin Baker to come in here too soon. And he has 4 personal fouls. So it's a kind of a guessing game here.
Gilliam to work on McLean. And the foul is on Scott Williams. Gilliam would be a tough guy to lose with his 14 rebounds. In the meantime, Williams, the first 76er, pick up 4 personal fouls. And the fans cheering because number 3 is coming back.
Now with Coleman coming back in and Iverson coming back in, will Chris Ford respond? That's the fun thing about watching basketball and the coaches. A little chess game out there.
Overton, who was solid off the bench, goes back to it. And Ford looking toward his bench as Overton and Williams go to take seats behind Johnny Davis. Gilliam missed his first, getting another. And his Bucks lead by 7. Plenty of time. Early in the fourth, we have played 3 and change as the Sixers go into the loosely choreographed motion offense. A lot of options can be exercised off of it. Harris, a good shooter. Iverson, the tip among the trees. Good hustle by Mark Davis to earn the Sixers a fresh 24. McLean knocked away by Hancock, out of bounds. Last touch by Don McLean. It'll be Milwaukee ball.
Goes right off the knee. See right there. Right off the knee of Don McLean. He did not like the call, but there's no question about it.
McLean, a fiery, emotional player, now will have to take his emotions with him to the bench as Clarence Weatherspoon will come in for him. Technical foul against McLean, so Elliot Perry will shoot it, and the Bucks will retain possession as well.
Bucks struggling from the free throw line, shooting just what, about 69%. Not real good.
Jerry Stackhouse coming back for Lucius Harris. Harris with 6 off the bench. Sixer bench has outscored Milwaukee's bench tonight, which is a good sign. The Sixers with bench problems all last year. As Stackhouse defends against Newman. Now it's Gilliam with a 5 personals against Weatherspoon. Davis coming in defensively. Iverson going to the floor. Perry has it into the lane. Gilliam, no. As the shot clock goes off, now the Sixers had possession. And already, Steve, in the opener, we have a chance to rail against a rule which we clearly dislike. If the Sixers have possession after playing good defense and the shot clock goes off, let them play.
Exactly. You take 2 points away from the 76ers right here as Elliot Perry gets into the lane, kicks the ball over to Armin Gilliam. Now Armin shoots an air ball. DC comes down with the ball. Buzzer goes off. They're on their way on a fast break situation. Obviously, the NBA didn't listen to us at all last year.
For years now, we've been complaining about it. Johnny Davis has his starters back in. Less Michael Cage. Mark Davis is in for him. Pick and roll, Stackhouse, and Coleman goes awry. Iverson for three, yes!
Well, you could see it as soon as it left his hand. Good rotation, good follow through. We had a good angle to watch it. Nothing but cotton. The Sixers to within 4.
Iverson with the only 2 Sixer threes on the night. Baker back in over Weatherspoon. Lang and Coleman go for it. DC comes up with it. Sixers down 4. Coleman, Davis, yes! Tonight, the first night of a revolution as Allen's mother, as all of us here are enjoying his terrific NBA debut. Indeed, the revolution is underway. The Sixers down 2. Sherman Douglas back in to handle the ball for the Bucks. Up against Iverson, who's got him defensively with a forearm. Good defense by the Sixers here. Now Lang to work over Coleman. No! Weatherspoon the rebound. Sixers can tie with a 2, go ahead with a 3. And how about Iverson? With only 2 years of college ball, the sophomore at 21 coming in, taking charge here in the fourth quarter.
Starts on the defensive end. 76ers doing an excellent job this period on the Milwaukee Bucks.
3 to shoot. Coleman looking. Davis. Yes!
Wow, at the buzzer. Things are falling right for the Sixers right now. Everything is going their way.
6.5 to go in the fourth, and we're tied at 91. Douglas around Iverson. No basket. Sixer foul coming up. It's going to be on Allen Iverson, stepping in front of Douglas and committing the block. That's his 4th personal foul.
As the shot clock winds down, Davis with the pump fake, the spin move, and there it is at the buzzer to tie this thing up.
Fresh 24 for the Bucks. Douglas right away to the goal. That was Davis reaching in. Iverson is wide-eyed, but it's going to be Mark Davis on the personal foul. And Davis has played wonderfully off the bench. And Davis riding him here to the midway point of the fourth quarter with a starting center. Michael Cage still on the bench. Douglas will get another. Historically not a good free throw shooter through his career, though last year at 73%, the best season of his 7+ years in the NBA. 1 of 2, and the Sixers can go in front with a deuce. Iverson waiting for it to develop on the pick and roll. Weatherspoon, good shovel. Coleman, no! And finally, Lang comes down with it for the Bucks as Davis screaming into the ear of Mike Mathis, looking for a call, none forthcoming. Under 6 to play on the fourth. Baker against Weatherspoon. To work, these heavenly bodies go. Follow-up tap is good by Lang. Andrew Lang has made a large part of his living attacking the offensive glass and following just like that. Sixers down 3. Stackhouse curling and losing it. Baker holds up the stop sign with 5.5 to go.
Good play by Baker. Off the turnover, slow it down, get the play.
And now Baker wants Weatherspoon. Remember, he also has a clear height advantage. Ray Allen, the rookie. Weatherspoon broke it loose. Lang in traffic, looking for a travel. And now we have a timeout being called. Sixers are screaming for a travel. It's not coming up. Instead, Chris Ford, lest his team turn the ball over, calls the timeout with 5:09 to go here in the fourth.
Ray Allen with the little runner. Take a look at Andrew Lang. He's going to get.
If anybody's wondering if she has a vested interest, yes, this is the mother of Allen Iverson, Miss Ann Iverson. Go back to Mark Zumoff, Milwaukee, with a 3-point lead. Zoo?
5:09 to play in the fourth. The Bucks virtually with a fresh shot clock as Ann's son D's it up against Sherman Douglas. Sixers sticky defense here, and we have a moving screen. It's going to be against Vin Baker, I believe. Robinson. And that is his third.
As Glenn Robinson was coming off the screen, he pushed the defensive player into the screen. Official was right on top of that, getting the foul on Glenn.
Sixers down 3. Casper Coleman intercepted. What a play by Iverson, burning himself on the floor to come up with that loose ball. 6 seconds to shoot. Iverson blocked and goaltending on Lang. Score 2 for Allen Iverson, who leads everybody in scoring tonight with 28 points.
Take a look at the block. Definitely on its downward arc. Andrew Lang, 13th in the NBA last year in blocks at almost 2 per game, but not that time, as the ball was definitely heading toward the hoop.
Sixers down 1, 4.5 to go in the fourth. Robinson off the set play, drains 2. A big bark from the big dog. His first 2 of the fourth. He's got 17. Stackhouse isolated on Allen. Yes. Jerry Stackhouse, his first deuce of the fourth. He's got 13. The Sixers down 1 again with 4 minutes exactly to go in the final quarter.
Exciting ball game here tonight.
Good play by Davis. The steal pass intended for Robinson. Douglas with the foul, lest the Sixers get the numbers advantage. A smart foul by Douglas, as the Bucks do have a couple to give here with 3:51 to go.
Davis doing an excellent job of defending the low post. Take a look one more time. Coming on the ball side. He started on the baseline side. Did an excellent job of fighting over, tapping that thing away.
Sixers in search of a lead. Coleman by Baker. Yes, and a foul. Derek Coleman.
Sixers have fought back into this thing with the defensive effort, and now they take a 1-point lead. DC with the opportunity to make it 2 points.
Coleman is 3 assists away from a triple-double. He's got 22 and 13.
This whole thing started with about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, when their defense really picked up with that second unit with Overton and Davis into the ball game.
Sixers with their first lead since they held a 12-10 advantage way back in the first. Iverson is going to be called for the personal foul, and for Allen Iverson, who's had a wonderful night, that's personal number 5.
Now, do you get him out for a minute and a half or so? We'll see what Johnny Davis wants to do.
Davis with 5. Iverson with 5. Baker with 5. Gilliam with 5. For Milwaukee, as Douglas goes to the line.
Well, I think what do you do now is maybe isolate Sherman Douglas on the right side if you're Chris Ford. Try to pick up number 6. I know there's 3.5 minutes to go, but maybe the next possession, just see if you can do that real quick and then get back into your normal situation.
2 for Douglas to tie it at 98.
Got a technical foul on Allen Iverson. The one thing that Allen has to learn is, who can I talk to and who can I talk to? As the free throw goes through, he looks at Mike Mathis, and that's not what you want to do with Mike coming down the stretch, and say something to him. There was no question that Allen was upset with the call. And he looks over at Mike Mathis with his arms stretched out. I don't know what he said, but he must have said the right thing.
And Johnny Davis doing the right thing, putting his hands about Allen Iverson's waist, whispering into his ear. Some sagacious advice coming from Johnny Davis as now the Bucks, by way of a rather unconventional three-point play, lead it by 1 with 3.5 to go in the fourth. Stackhouse for the lead. No. Douglas with a board. Sixers down 1. Baker, Robinson plunging. Excellent defense by Coleman to knock it away. 13 to shoot for Milwaukee.
Uh-oh, don't want to give him a wide open shot on the triple. Mix up defensively. That man shot 55%, 50% from threes during the preseason.
Weatherspoon off the Davis miss. Fouled on the follow-up. And just to clarify, that was Ray Allen, the rookie out of UConn, who made that big bucket for the Bucks moments ago to spot them the 4-point margin. And with 2:55 to go in the fourth, Clarence Weatherspoon, with only 3 points tonight, will go to the line looking to add 2.
Now take a look off the inbounds play. Boy, Ray Allen wide open. Once again, a little defensive mix-up. And that's the guy you don't want to leave open from downtown on the Milwaukee Bucks. 50% in 7 preseason games.
Spoon misses 2. The Sixers still down 4. Clarence now needs to shake it off and play defense against Baker as Douglas misses and Davis the rebound.
That was that isolation I was talking about on the left side.
Iverson missing the 3. On the floor it goes. Here's the battle and Iverson wins it. Here comes Iverson. The floor opening up. Pass from Davis. Blocked by Glenn Robinson. To the floor it goes. Here's Allen. He's got company. Davis trying to sneak up the block and foul by Coleman. And after all of that, Allen will be going to the line.
Allen Iverson, after hustling down on the other end to pick up the loose ball, takes it to the hoop. It's a mad scramble for the basketball. Ray Allen taking it to the hoop, will shoot a couple. Allen 75% during the preseason, misses the first one.
For Coleman, his 3rd personal. Derek Coleman is back, my friends. 23 points, 13 boards, 7 assists, 9 for 10 shooting from the line. Allen there missing 2.
Misses them both.
And the lead remains a 4-point one for Milwaukee. 2:10 to play fourth quarter. Running it for Coleman. Stackhouse setting up the screen. Lang defensively on DC, who goes to work. And the steal by Allen. Stackhouse looking to pick his pocket. Coleman has to foul and prevent the field goal and force Allen to go back to the line where he missed 2 moments ago.
Good defense that time. It started with Andrew Lang not going for the pump fake by Derek Coleman. Derek Coleman trying to pass out of the low post. Allen was right there to pick the pass off, and he makes the first one, stretching the Bucks lead to 5. Make it 6.
Ray Allen with 13 in his NBA debut. Sixers need a hoop under 2 to play. They're down 6.
Well, both former All-Americans, Allen and Iverson, have played well tonight.
Coleman trying to get Lang to bite on the pump fake. Andrew refusing to give ground, but in the meantime, Sherman Douglas sneaking in, committing the personal foul as Coleman will go to the line, trying to interrupt an 8-0 Milwaukee run.
So you're not going to get Andrew Lang off the floor. He's not going to go for the pump fake. He's like Michael Cage. He's a good, solid player, knows what he can do and can't do. He's going to stay on the floor and wait for you to go up. On the double team that time with Sherman Douglas, as Derek Coleman was getting ready to pass out of the double team, he reached down and slapped Derek across the wrist. DC makes the first one.
Coleman with 26. Iverson with scoring honors for the game with 28. Buck lead is 4. Just over a buck and a half to go in the fourth. Baker looking for it against Weatherspoon. Allen looks to oblige. Now they go to work. Vin hops into the lane. And we have a whistle and a foul as Baker was fouled in the act of shooting. Mark Davis, the personal. He's got 5.
Vin Baker in the low post will go to the line to shoot a couple. In 7 preseason games, shot 7, a little bit better than 78%.
Which is a vast improvement for him over the first 3 years.
Absolutely.
Baker, a 64% career shooter. 11 of 12 tonight. Sixers down 6. Iverson nursing the ball up the floor to buy a few seconds. Stackhouse cutting off. Baker and Lang both there to greet him. Douglas dutifully raising his arm, and he is called for the personal. 5 on him.
I guarantee you the next time he's close to that foul, he won't raise his hand. He's done that the last couple times.
Trying to protect the big guys, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Jerry Stackhouse. 13 points tonight. He had 9 at halftime.
Not 5-point lead. If you're Milwaukee, you try to use the clock. Keep this thing to about 4 possessions only, if at all possible.
Douglas performing that duty against the watchful Iverson. Robinson helping on the screen. Douglas, the miss. Follow-up is in by Lang.
An O-board. What a crucial time to give up an O-board.
That played very Andrew Lang. And here's a steal by Robinson. Does he take it in? They go to Allen, and they lost it out of bounds. And I would think that Chris Ford would probably want him to back it out in that situation.
Oh, absolutely.
So the Bucks turned it over. They do have the 7-point lead. We do have 45.4 to go here in the fourth quarter, and we have a timeout. Sixers need a field goal, then they'll be forced to foul. Iverson probing against Douglas. He's got 2 more. 30 points for Allen Iverson tonight in this his NBA debut. And now the Sixers look to foul, scramble, hope to get a steal. Davis thought he picked it clean from Robinson, but instead he is tagged for the foul. And Mark Davis, in his 76er debut, is fouled out of the game. Davis, a spark tonight for the Sixers, particularly defensively. Johnny Davis rode him to the end. And Lucius Harris will come in for him with 36.5 to go and a 5-point Milwaukee lead. Now you hope and pray that Robinson misses here to keep it at least a 2-possession game. Right now it's a 6-point lead for the Bucks. Nothing doing. All 5 starters in double figures tonight for the Bucks. Robinson, the 3rd leading scorer with 19, and the Bucks leading the 76ers by 7. 110 to 103, 36.5 seconds remaining.
I think if you're Johnny Davis, and I'm not sure what he's going to draw up, but there's still plenty of time. Now let's say you get a quick 2. All right, that cuts it down to 5. You get a steal off the inbounds pass or something like that, because that's what you're hoping for at this stage. Then you get a steal, then all of a sudden you get another 2. Now it's a 3-point game. Now you work from there with about 20 seconds to go. And I'm looking for a quick 2 because Milwaukee's probably saying don't give up any 3s. And if you're Allen Iverson, just drive it down past Sherman Douglas, because you know he doesn't want to foul.
Again, Iverson. Clock doesn't start until he touches it. Allen all the way, tied up. Did he go up and down? He was tied up indeed when he went up. And a jump ball coming up. And you know Iverson, at a mere 6 feet even, is going to be at a decided disadvantage against whoever they pick. And it's probably going to be Glenn Robinson, I would think. Lang is fouled by Derek Coleman. Will walk the floor. We will fly to Chicago tonight, and tomorrow we will bring you a very special telecast. The 76ers will be at United Center to take on the world champion Chicago Bulls, and it will be tomorrow night that Michael Jordan will be picking up his 4th career ring.
Looking forward to that. When you take a look at the schedule and you say, all right, you're going to be in Chicago when they get their rings, that's always a fun place anyway. And then all of a sudden they're going to pick up their rings. That's an exciting time.
Andrew Lang, of course, at one time playing for the 76ers, coming over, played 1 season after the Charles Barkley trade, coming from the Phoenix Suns.
Now you need a 3. You're down 8. Now you're looking for a quick 3, I think.
Iverson, the only 2 trays on the night for the Sixers. Coleman chooses Harris, who in time will show us all that he is an excellent outside shooter. Now some discussion as to where exactly Coleman will inbound the ball. That's settled. We'll go back to work. Iverson looking Overton's way, in for his shooting prowess. Misses that time. Baker with a board. And the Bucks will just look to wind it down and win here tonight. Allen missing the 3. And the other Allen, Iverson. Stackhouse, the final shot of the game. And that'll do it. So the Sixers in a very, very exciting beginning to this revolution.